I'm Stefan Baumann, and I would love to introduce you to a new book that I just wrote on plein air painting. After 40 years, I finally sat down with one of the best authors that I could possibly imagine for this project and put together everything I know about painting outdoors. And this isn't just an outdoor painting book. No, these are techniques that you can bring into the studio, and they apply to watercolors, acrylics, gouache, and oil. You will be amazed at what you will learn with every turn of the page, every paragraph. We have worked through my videos, my information, my books, my blogs, and brought it all together. And over 2 years of editing, we brought it down to just the facts. This painting book has over 400 pages and almost 500 illustrations. If you see my videos and if you read my blog and you follow me on YouTube, you know that there's a lot of information. There's a lot of things you don't know that you don't know. I'm amazed at the quality of this book, the pages. It's a field guide. It's a book that you would take outdoors with you and paint on location. It's been organized so you could find your way through my keys. This book explains 40 years of teaching and knowledge one-on-one. All the information that I possibly know about painting is in this book. So run, don't walk, and order this book today.
Get this book. It's awesome.
I'm Stefan Baumann. I want to welcome you to another video. I am the author of this book, The Ultimate Guide to Plein Air Painting, and it is a great book. Don't believe me, Rhodes recommends it. But today we're going to discuss palette knives. What kind of palette knife should we have? When do we use it? Why do we use it? All these things. You think that one palette knife out there is going to take care of everything? No, I suggest that you watch this. Find out before you start doing palette knives what kind of palette knife you should get, and I will see you on the other side. So, anyway, so very quickly, before we get into that, I actually had somebody email me a question, and I thought, oh, that's kind of good. If we have no questions, then we'll make up a question. But this is actually a question. This actually comes, it's based on Laura from Sacramento. And she'd asked about palette knives and what palette knives that I use. And actually, I'm going to discuss a little bit about my painting process. As you can see, my deer painting over here has progressed a little bit further. You can see that. For those of you who have been following along, it started off with, and this is a painting that we're going to be doing for the snowboards, but it started off as a deer next to a creek and a waterfall and back, and slowly it climbed up the mountain, and now we're at the edge of the mountain. And some of the reasons why I do those animals we will discuss later. But with palette knives, um, I, people have people. Yeah, that's not long. People come to class and they have palette knives, and these palette knives that you buy nowadays, they're kind of the brown. They kind of look like this. This one's odd because it's like long and narrow. That's kind of a cool one. These palette knives you can't really buy necessarily at Michael's or the regular stores for, just for the masses. Usually in fine art stores, you can find ones that have different shapes, or online. This is the same company that you would have. Can't even read what it is, but it's Italian. But the metal is really hard. It's very rigid, and they make plastic knives. And I would highly recommend never, ever, even if you're going to use them, they're just a waste of money. These ones are kind of a waste of money too. And I remember when I was younger taking painting classes, these actually were a lot nicer. And the whole thing behind a palette knife is that it has to have a nice uh, 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 point to the top and be somewhat flexible. Well, the ones that they make now are not flexible at all. They're very stiff and rigid, and unsatisfactory. But there is a palette knife out there worth buying, and I highly recommend this. And I do not get any credit for this. I don't get paid. In fact, they don't know who I am. But the Holbein palette knives are just exquisite. And these ones I buy. The Holbein. They are fabulous, and they are Um, I- you could tell I use them. In fact, a lot of times, I mean, I've lost if I'm outdoors and I don't have a palette knife, not to mix color, but to actually put paint on. These knives, I don't know if you can hear it. Can you hear that ring? Ah, these knives are so flexible and so thin. You can just, you could just, I don't know, you can't hear them, but they are, and they're all made out of one sheet of metal and they're tooled down. And you have to order these from high-end paint companies like Jerry's Autorama and stuff. They do have them. Each palette knife runs about $50, $60. This one is probably $70. I know that's a lot of money to pay for a palette knife. It is highly recommended because they're like paintbrushes and they're so flexible. You can see how flexible they are. They're just they actually like react to your hand. It's almost like painting with your fingers, and you can twist the front and everything, but they are really, really sensitive. And if you get these, here's another one, small one. But the problem with these is if you get like me and you get really excited and you're painting away and you accidentally drop the knife, is pretty much the end of that knife. These knives, once they hit the ground, they make little accordion kind of ends on them, and they are useless after that. So if you do invest in a high-end knife, which I recommend, and get several sizes if you can afford it, a standard size would be good to start. You don't have to have every size in the world, but something about this big. See, about this big. Um, and they usually have a black handle, and you can test if you're not sure. If you go like this and there's no sound, then you're not working with a Holbein. But anyway, that's one that I would highly recommend if you are interested in any of that stuff. So just a little insight on knives. I'm going to discuss what I do with them in a little bit and why you find out why they are flexible, because I'm actually going to look at this animal painting and tell you the last step that I'm going to be doing to it and give you some of my secrets. So, anyway, so
I
anybody
had a
have,
question.
yes,
Is there any cheaper option that you would recommend? Because those are like $50 at each. Can't afford that. You know.
I know. No, there isn't. Yeah, for quality, but you just have to take care of them. It's an investment in your future. The other ones with these
Quick,
handles here, the
can I have
brown
a
handles.
quick question,
Yeah.
Stefan, on the palette knives? If you wanted to get three, what would the three you would get, the numbers?
Just real quickly, I don't know. I don't know how they come. They got their series. They don't even tell you the numbers. But I would, looking at the widths and the heights, this is like a half inch by 2 inches. So I would get a half inch by 2 inches. I love this one, but this one's definitely, you can hear them. This one is like like maybe 3/4 of an inch by 3 inches, really wide. And I would get a small one like this, and this one's like a 1/4 inch by 1 inch or 1.5 inches. Outside of that, these are not really marked with sizes on them, but they are fabulous. But be very, very careful with them. Like I said, you can actually paint like you're painting with a brush. They actually bend and twist, and you could go to the tip. They're really beautiful to work with, and they also are very flexible, which helps when I show you a little later on of that. A mixing knife is usually just straight and long. It looks like a butter knife. And I've never had a use for these. Usually a painting palette knife has this a little bend in them, but you're mainly using the front of these, and sometimes you use the sides too, but it's just really kind of a good thing. When in doubt, take your palette knife out. There are so many times when I can't get something to look good, especially doing rocks and things, and they just like sometimes you just kind of pick up paint and drag it, and it opens up a whole new conversation. There are times when I get so into palette knife painting, I forget that I'm a brush painter, and I just get carried along. Now, the thing is with palette knife painting is that I have a very high bar for it, because back in the day, people who painted with palette knife were kind of associated with, that the decorative paints like you'd see in a Motel 6. I don't know. I've never spent a night in a Motel 6. Actually, I have, but I don't want to talk about those days. So those really cheap knife paintings with lots of textures, but you can actually, there's an artist by the name of Clark Hulings, and I bring his name up because it's through his efforts of mastering the palette knife that I thought, whoa, if you know how to do a palette knife painting beautifully, you can't tell that it's done by a palette knife. That's how palette knives can really mimic beautiful brush strokes and things. And sometimes if you find yourself just absolutely stuck, a palette knife can kind of unstuck you. But I am a person that I like a mixture of brush and knife. So there are times when I'll put some brush in, then I'll go pick up a knife and I'll work a little knife thing, drag something across. Great for scumbling, but actually to make branches and things and get very, very fluid with them. And so there's a lot of techniques, but I think when you utilize a palette knife well, you almost can't tell that it's a palette knife painting. And I think that's when you become a master palette knife painter. But having that texture in the painting sometimes frees you up. Lately, what people have been doing is kind of paint something really realistic, and then they take a palette knife and they just kind of do these horizontal lines across them to kind of break them up. And it's kind of like, wow, that was really a great idea for the one artist that started it, but after that, it's like too many of things are the same thing. But it doesn't matter what size your canvas is to your knife. The reason why you have a bigger palette knife is to go over bigger areas, obviously, but I use that big knife in doing really fine techniques on it too, which I will explain a little bit later. Does that answer your question? Well, did you ever knew that there was a difference in knives and that this magnificent knife even exists? If you want this information, it is in the Ultimate Field Guide to Plein Air Painting. And remember, anything that's in this book you can do in your studio because it's nature, so it all works together. If you want to come to one of my workshops, go to stefanbaumann.com or just give me a call at 415-606-9074. I used to have a PBS television show on painting in the national parks called The Grandview. I have got podcasts and everything. I'm the guy. If you want to learn how to paint outdoors, I'm the guy that you need to go see. So by all means, if you want coaching, if you want podcasts, if you want my videos, if you want my book, go to my website, sign up for a workshop. Don't hesitate. Do something for your future and do it now. Until then, have a great day. Bye-bye. I'm Stefan Baumann, and I would love to introduce you to a new book that I just wrote on plein air painting. After 40 years, I finally sat down with one of the best authors that I could possibly imagine for this project and put together everything I know about painting outdoors. And this isn't just an outdoor painting book. No, these are techniques that you can bring into the studio, and they apply to watercolors, acrylics, gouache, and oil. You will be amazed at what you will learn with every turn of the page, every paragraph. We have worked through my videos, my information, my books, my blogs, and brought it all together. And over 2 years of editing, we brought it down to just the facts. This painting book has over 400 pages and almost 500 illustrations. If you see my videos and if you read my blog and you follow me on YouTube, you know that there's a lot of information. There's a lot of things you don't know that you don't know. I'm amazed at the quality of this book, the pages. It's a field guide. It's a book that you would take outdoors with you and paint on location. It's been organized so you could find your way through my keys. This book explains 40 years of teaching and knowledge one-on-one. All the information that I possibly know about painting is in this book. So run, don't walk, and order this book today.
Get this book. It's awesome.